Alright guys, so here's the review of another Baltany watch on the channel. This is the second one. So the first one I was pretty impressed with, so when I was offered a second one to check out, I pretty much jumped at the chance. You'll probably see straight away this is an homage of a pretty famous Hamilton watch, but I'm not going to say what it is. You've probably seen it in the title. If not, you'll see straight away what it is. Anyway, full disclosure, I was sent this watch for free. Well, kind of. I just had to pay postage, so it was basically free. But you know the score, it's not going to change the way I do my reviews, going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So the question is this as good as the last one? Is it worth getting? Would I recommend it over the other one? Let's get down to it and find out. So here it is, comes in the same packaging as the previous Baltany I had. Do you like these? They are handy. You can actually use them for travelling, for obviously this watch or other watches. And then I'll quickly go over the bits we've got in here. So you get the branded cleaning cloth, which is a really big one, which is quite handy to have. Then we've got the watch itself, pop that to one side for a second. And then the only other thing we've got in here is a spring bar removal tool. But pop all that to one side, we're not interested in all that. So here's the actual watch. So as I said in the intro, you can probably tell straight away what this is homaging. If you know, put it down in the comments. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who do. But it is a really good looking piece, this. I do like it quite a lot. So quickly talk about the case and then we'll get on to the dimensions and everything straight away. So we've got a fully brushed case. Brushing is really nicely done. You can see we've got a sterile crown. We've actually got a sterile case back as well. So there's no branding on there at all, just a screw down case back, again brushed. So the only branding you've got on this is on the dial. But they do actually have a non-branded version as well. And they also have a different handset option too. So I'll probably leave pictures on screen so you can see what they're like. So you've got a few different options, which is nice. I do like that. I personally probably would have gone for the non-branded version. I think it's a tiny bit cluttered at the top. We're going to zoom in. For that Baltany just in underneath the 24-hour indexes. I just think it's a little bit too much. But again, personal taste. I know a lot of people prefer actual branding. But it's all really nicely done, really nicely printed. No issues with that. And when we see the lumen a bit, you'll see that's pretty good too. The hands are really nicely finished. High polish around the edge, filled with lume, and then we just got the white second hand. So quickly talk about the dimensions on this. So if I get this out of the way, we'll talk about the thickness. Start with that. So we've got a thickness of 11.3mm, which isn't too bad considering this has got an NH35 in it. Then we've got diameter of 39mm, well just over 39.1. Lug width of 20. Now the all important lug to lug, and that is a really nice compact 46. So really nice dimensions on this. And I'll show you, in fact I'll show you now what it wears like on this supplied NATO strap. Quickly talk about this actually before we do. So we've got brushed hardware on this matching the case, which is nicely done. No branding on it though. But you'll probably know I'm not the biggest fan of NATO straps because of that bulk they add. Even if you do wear them the different way, I'm still not overly keen on them. But again, I'll quickly show you what it's like on wrist. So this is what it looks like on the supplied strap on my 7-inch wrist. It does wear well, and it doesn't wear as bulky as you'd expect actually. I wasn't pleasantly surprised with that, but again I'm still just not the biggest fan of NATO straps, so I've been wearing it on something else. I'll quickly show you what that is now. So this is the strap I've been wearing it on. It's like a vintage kind of style one. I think it suits the watch quite well. So nice brown one, leather. Full disclosure, I was sent this strap for free by Nomad Watch Works. If you want to check out their site and their straps, I'll leave a link for that down in the description. But like I say, I think this one does suit it quite well. It's also got quick release as well, which is handy, and it is really comfortable. But I get the feeling with this watch, it's probably going to be a bit of a strap monster. Could probably go with a lot of different straps, but this is the one I'm going with at the moment. Let's get on to testing the sapphire, well, whether we've got a sapphire crystal. Using the trusty Diamond Selector 2. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal on that. So that's always good. And it is just a completely flat sapphire crystal. No dome on that at all, but it definitely suits the watch. Really liking the finishing on this case. Every time I look at it, it just looks really nicely done. And then we've got those nice chamfered edges with a slight bit of polish on, just to break it up ever so slightly. Just really nicely done. Nice curvature to those lugs too. So now, let's test out what the loom's like. And you can see straight away, we've got pretty good loom on this already. But let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. And again, because you've got different options of hands on this, that might vary slightly, because the other ones are actually slightly larger, so you might get a bit more loom on them. But you'll see in a second, you won't be disappointed even if you go with this one. And there we go. It's really impressive loom. And I do like that they fully loom the second hand as well. That's not something you see all that often. Do really like that. And we've actually got slightly different coloured loom, a few different things going on, but I think it does actually come together really nicely. And it lasts a decent amount of time too. The markers around the outside, they're fading a little bit quicker, as you can see already, but the rest of it hangs on really well. Really usable, really good. Definitely impressed with this loom, especially for an AliExpress watch, albeit a slightly more expensive one. It's definitely right up there in terms of loom, I'd say. Is it as good as a diver? Obviously not, but it's definitely usable, definitely good. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, it doesn't actually say it on the watch, obviously, because it's all sterile on the back, but you've actually got 100 metre water resistance on this. And, oh, another thing I forgot to mention, you can actually get this with a leather strap. It doesn't actually have any pictures on the listing of the strap, and it actually says random leather strap, so I'm not entirely sure what you're going to get with that. But if you do want it on a leather strap instead of the NATO, you can do that too. It's an option. So I'll quickly show you what it's like on this strap, and then I'll get on to the final thoughts. So this is it on that Nomad Watch Works strap, which I've been wearing it on. Do really like this. And I do think it goes well as well. It goes with that vintage kind of styling, with the texture on that leather, and with it being brown as well. I think it's a nice match. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Whether you think this goes, or you think it's better on the NATO it comes with. But as for the watch as a whole, I'm really happy with it. As I said, the only real negative I've got is that branding. I prefer the sterile one, but again, they give you that option, so that's not too big a deal. Would have been nice to have some branding on the crown, but other than that, I can't really complain too much. It's nicely finished, good loom, nice dimensions. So again, if you're interested in picking one up, links down in the description. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.